Just hours ago, the FDA signed off on one Johnson & Johnson's single-shot COVID-19 vaccine, adding to America's arsenal for the fight against the virus. The president calling the announcement an encouraging development. The approval of this latest vaccine comes as the U.S. just crossed 510,000 deaths. This shot is shown to be 85% effective in preventing serious illness, hospitalization, and death. And most importantly, experts say the J&J vaccine should fare well against those coronavirus variants that are now circling in the U.S. The company says it can deliver 20 million doses by the end of next month. By June, it will have 80 million doses ready to go. The latest numbers from the CDC show more than 72 million Americans have received one or both doses of the vaccine. That's about 14% of the U.S. population. And joining us now to talk more about the importance of this major development is Dr. Amish Adalja. He is a senior scholar at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. He also teaches at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. So Dr. Adalja, thank you for being here once again.
Sure, thank you for having me.
So what is the difference between this J&J vaccine and the others, besides the fact that it's a single shot?
It uses a whole different technology. So the J&J vaccine uses something called an adenovirus, which is a common cold-causing virus. And they basically engineered it to deliver the spike protein of the coronavirus. So it is a new vaccine platform. And I think in that sense, it's another innovation that we've seen in vaccine development that we didn't have even a decade ago. The other thing about this vaccine is that it is something that doesn't require really onerous cold storage requirements. So it's something that you can put into pharmacies, into doctors' offices very easily. So this is a really game-changing vaccine. It's a tremendous addition to our menu that we're going to be able to use to vaccinate people and end this pandemic.
So there have been reports that this vaccine might not be as effective as the other two. Some people are worried about that. What would you say to those people?
I would say that they're wrong. When it comes to what matters, serious disease, hospitalization, and death, this vaccine, just like the others, is very, very good. So this is a vaccine that everybody should rush to get as soon as it's available. And I think it's important also to remember that when you try and compare one vaccine to another, remember they weren't studied in head-to-head trials, so it's very hard to make apples-to-apples comparisons. And again, where it matters, where it counts, severe disease, all of these vaccines are really, really great tools to end this pandemic.
What about when it comes to these new variants that are coming out? Is this effective against them as far as we know?
When it comes to the variants, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine did well. It didn't necessarily stop you from getting infected, but it stopped you from getting hospitalized and dying from this. And remember, that's why COVID-19 is even a public health emergency, because it can cause serious disease. So even in the face of the South African variant, for example, which is one of the more troublesome or worrying ones, this vaccine did hold up well. So I think we have to keep our eye on what really matters, the serious disease that COVID-19 can cause, and really get anybody that can be vaccinated with any of the three vaccines.
And the storage capabilities are a major component of this new vaccine, right? That we don't have to have ultra cold storage like the other vaccines. Can you talk about how that will impact the population being vaccinated?
We want this vaccination rollout to be as seamless as possible. So we want to get vaccine as close to the population as possible. And you can't do that if you have to have dry ice or if you have to have ultra cold storage freezers. But with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, you could do this at a drugstore. You could do this at a doctor's office. You could have mobile vaccine clinics. So this is something that really could be scaled and could be the vaccine that many Americans get vaccinated with as we move along this vaccination program. I think the cold chain is something that, it really restricts the use of the vaccine to places that can maintain it. And with a vaccine that doesn't require that, I think it really opens many, many doors.
And then there's another component, which is that some people have reported not being able to get a second shot from some of the other vaccines. And now that we have a single shot, this should improve the rollout, right?
Exactly. Anytime you have a vaccine that requires more than one dose, it becomes difficult logistically to deliver that second dose. And we're already seeing many people trying to get their second doses scheduled. We're seeing delayed second doses. With this vaccine, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, is basically one and done. That makes it so much easier from compliance, so much easier from logistics. So I do think this is something that we really have to value in this vaccine versus the others.
Okay, and final question, which is the question I ask you every time I talk to you. Now that we have three vaccines on the market, what is your best guess as far as when life will get back to normal or somewhat normal?
I think that we'll get back to some semblance of normalcy in late summer when the majority of people have been vaccinated, but we'll get little small steps towards normalcy as more of our vulnerable populations are vaccinated. And we're already seeing that with nursing home deaths, nursing home cases going down. Remember that flattening the curve was about preserving hospital capacity. And our priority groups really were geared towards going after those vulnerable populations. And we are getting high levels of vaccination in those individuals. So even before we cross that herd immunity threshold, I think you're going to see hospitals have breathing room, and that's going to change the risk perception, and we'll take steps towards normalcy as hospitals are not inundated anymore. And hopefully this will accelerate. It'll be slow at first, and then it will go very fast as people get vaccinated.
All right, Dr. Amish Adalja, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.